It is a pleasure to be here today for the one-year celebration of Project Search.
Project Search is a vocational training program for young adult students with disabilities in the Madison Metropolitan School District. And it is a combination effort among several county, state, and local organizations along with the school district. And we train students into hospital jobs here at the VA hospital. The Project Search program at the VA in Madison is the first program of its kind in the state of Wisconsin, and it's also the only program that's located inside a veterans hospital.
They are working in a variety of jobs, some pretty complicated, in which they are learning great skills that could be used to gain employment when they graduate from high school. It's been really a delight having them here. And I think the benefits to the VA are, one, we see that these people can really do a lot. I think they add a lot to the environment. And in many ways, I think they've changed the culture at the VA. When they first arrived, we saw the kids working, and I think people thought of it as sort of our kind of charity work, something we were doing to help people with special needs in our community, and that we were the ones giving something to them. But as people have gotten to know the students, they've realized that these are great employees. They're always on time, they show up for work, they're enthusiastic, and I think the staff have gotten a lot from that. The staff have been exposed to this idea that even if you have a disability, you can still work and be an important part of the workforce here at the hospital. They're pretty darn inspiring for us to work with. We've gotten more from them than they have gotten from us.
And it has been a joy to come into this hospital. It's a very small hospital, and some thought that it might be too small to effectively maintain a program like this. But being a small program contributes to the success of Project Search here. We are literally accepted as just members of the VA family. The employees and the directors of the hospital have been completely and sincerely supportive and enthusiastic every step of the way. This is a perfect hospital to develop a program like Project Search. All right, look at that second section of your application. Every morning starts out with a vocational class, and in the classroom we learn all sorts of vocational skills that really benefit the students in their job performances. We talk about everything from appropriate hygiene and uniforms, elevator and hallway etiquette. If there are any issues that come up with any of the internship sites, we take those situations and turn them into a learning experience for all of the students. Number 2 says from, that's the start date that you had.
The kids are learning really great job skills. And it is not just filing and patient transport or something very, very basic, or working in the cafeteria. They're learning how to put surgical kits together. They're learning about medical supplies, sterilization, complicated things that are specific to hospitals and that would translate over to work in other hospitals.
They supply exam rooms for patients. We have one student working in the dietary and nutrition department. We have students doing the mail run and several different clerical fields.
So there are some other skills that would translate over into non-medical jobs, and those would be things like interacting with colleagues, answering a phone, how to file, things like that, food preparation in some cases. Things that would, I think, be general business type skills that could be used in other employment settings.
The technical job skills, it's been fun to see what people can learn as far as you're not quite sure if they're going to be able to grasp it or not, and to just keep being able to increase the responsibilities and increase the demands and the capabilities has been excellent. You know, we've gone back and forth and tried different things, and can always, that's the other thing, is that you never know until you throw it out there and give people a try.
There are certain jobs in probably any setting, and definitely in hospital settings, that are redundant, in which people might get bored, and in which there's a high turnover. Not only is there high turnover, but there's high absenteeism. People are calling in sick a lot. It's hard for employers, including the VA, to keep people reliably in those jobs. What is great about our Project Search students is that they come in and they love that kind of work. They're good at it, they master it, and they can't wait to come in every day and do it. It's great to have people that are reliable and do high quality work in those kind of job placements.
I first heard about Project Search when I was looking for a job a couple of years ago. When I heard about it, I thought it was a really good idea for people like me, and so I just took a shot at it. My duties at the VA are materials management for lobbies around the hospital, and I do filing work for the anti-coagulation department. I do like the work here. The work here is very pleasant, and I like the colleagues that I have around me.
The job duties I do are filing, and I go on 3 mail runs, and then I go to the pharmacy and take them their mail. And I love it here at the VA. I like it here because the people here are so nice and kind, and they make me feel welcomed and comfortable, you know, to be around.
Oh, watching the students grow through Project Search has been one of the best parts of the program. Watching them come in looking pretty apprehensive about being in a medical facility, and watching them become more comfortable, more confident, and a true part of the team and the staff here at the VA hospital. The VA has benefited because the staff have been exposed to working with a wide variety of people, which wasn't always here before that. And that is one area that I've been kind of surprised in. And because we're such a small facility, you do get out and about and run into other people, and staff have mentioned things to me about the students that they've been working with, and that really gives them a great sense of responsibility and ownership and helping others improve their lifestyle and improve their quality of life.
Other employees have really sought me and Mary out to talk about what a joy it is to have the Project Search student in their business, in their department. People get very attached to these particular students. They have commented about how the student really enriches the environment, their work environment, and how it's hard to describe what it is about them, but they sort of garner and engender a real enthusiasm from other employees. And there's been a real close bonding. And they also speak about how impressed they are about what the student can accomplish. And they often are very surprised at what the students can do. As an example, in the cafeteria, in food preparation, the head of the food service here says that Peter, one of our students, makes the best, most perfect sandwiches of any employee she's ever had. They don't get easily bored. They are fine with some redundancy in their job skills. And I think they take such pride in what they're doing that they make sure they do it right every time, every day. Many people stay here as employees long term. We don't have a lot of turnover. We think of ourselves as a big family, and the students have melded right in as part of that family.
Could just go through some of these files and
People my teachers all have been very helpful with the skills that I learn here for jobs to come, and it also helps me they help me with difficulties if I don't understand how to do something. So in a way, Project Search has helped me a lot.
Project Search is successful here because of all of the parts of the program. We have the school district teachers and their assistants, and we have the students who come well prepared and well identified, and then with the VA staff that have been identified and areas to work in, it all melds together and makes for a great program.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you in a little bit then.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I think having Project Search as a part of somebody's business who might be thinking about it now that you're hearing more about it is something that is very worth trying. There's a lot of support that isn't very obvious in the beginning, and I think that that is one thing that when we first started talking about having Project Search here at the hospital, people thought it was going to be too much work for them, when in actuality there's a lot of support and the students are picked to fit the job that is there, and so it's just a win-win situation. You can't go wrong.
Part of what my sort of feel about this program is it really expands possibilities for people with disabilities beyond what we conventionally think of as them as jobs that they would do in the community. Personally, it's been a wonderful experience for me. It is one of the best parts of my job. I enjoy what I do, and I do a lot of fun stuff, but that is something I really look forward to, is seeing the kids every morning, or young adults now, I can't call them kids, come in and talk about their day and get excited. For most VA employees, getting a name tag or a parking pass doesn't mean much. These students really appreciate everything about being an employee, dressing the part, having good hygiene, getting a name badge to wear every day at work. They really get excited about just basic things that the rest of us take for granted in terms of being employed.
They taught me that that hard work pays off in the long run, and they also showed me how I could live on my own and have a nice job and stuff. I do plan to keep this job far into the future.
Project Search gives you the opportunity to have hands-on training. I mean, it's good to be able to have that opportunity.
But one of the most amazing parts of this program is the self-esteem change that I've seen in students, and I've seen a marked change in just a couple of shifts here at the hospital. And as their self-esteem rises, their work skills also rise. Every single student has exceeded my preset very high expectations. And I hear this from families and their home schools as well. Project Search is a program that does so much more than just teach job skills. It really enhances students' lives.